you doing, my little beauties? It's David Connolly here, the web developer extraordinaire, welcoming you to a brand new week. And what an exciting week this is promising to be, folks. I'm trying out GitHub Copilot here for the first time. And let me just say a few words of thanks to Simon. He comes on here from time to time, and he's been helping me just with a couple of the basic bits and pieces. And also he was showing me around the Trongate VSCode extension that looks pretty good, you know. So I thought I'd come on and do maybe 2 or 3 hours of coding with this on a real job and just see how it goes, you know. So it's going to be this restaurant site that has been going on for a wee bit too long, actually. And I ran into some problems with it because previously, because this layout is incredibly complicated. I mean, we've got a cat. Well, let me just explain. I've got a system I've made for managing items and adding them and all of that. That's cool. I like it a whole lot. But the challenge is that as much as this is all nice, try laying it out like this, you know. I mean, look at all of these wee bits down here and how this takes up 2 and these take up, well, there's 1 square. It's really, really tricky, you know. And it's not often that I get stumped, but this left me completely stumped last week. And that really does not happen often. That's like really probably less than 2 or 3 times a year. And so I was wrestling and I was like, what am I going to do with this page? Because I couldn't get it right, you know. I was just running into problems. So I've made a decision, and the decision is that I'm going to basically just have it so that each category has got 3 columns, but they're going to go down from top to bottom. It's just how it's going to work, you know. So that's the plan, and it's going to involve just a wee bit of rebuilding. Hold on a second, Roy. Yeah, we're good. Yeah, it's going to involve just a wee bit of rebuilding, but I think it's well worth doing, you know. So this is VSCode, and I am as new as you get. Now this thing on the left, this activity bar here, I know that I can move the nav like that. That's kind of cool, but I hardly ever use this activity bar. So maybe that makes me a bit strange, but I'm going to go to View, Appearance, and I'm going to untick that. So I've got a wee bit of real estate here. I was telling Simon earlier on that I wasn't too into all of these vertical lines that had a... Oh, actually, they may have gone. Maybe they have gone. They have gone. Oh, I'll need to tell him. I'll need to tell him. Well, thank you very much. I'll let him know. Right, okay. Earlier on, it had all these vertical lines everywhere with the indents, and I wasn't really into that either. But in any event, here we are. So it's Italian restaurant Glasgow menu, right? So I'm gonna just show you the vibe with this thing. Okay, so here we are, Italian restaurant Glasgow menu, and if you look at the URL, it takes in a restaurant name and then it takes in a menu name, and with that it's figuring out a restaurant ID, and it's figuring out what all of the items and categories are. Here's a big old complicated table join, and I did that using the Trongate query builder, which I'm quite chuffed with. And so this, I feel as if it's starting to get a bit complicated once I get down into the actual view file. But to show you where we are, if I go like this, JSON data, menu. Now, I do have GitHub Copilot on. Is it working? Well, it never suggested that. But if I do this, I can see a summary of all of the items that belong to this particular menu, right? So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to call the view file let's take this out. Okay, I'll call it, how about let's call it menu showcase or menu display. Now that's going to give us an error, of course. So we're going to have a new file. I'll call it menu display.php. I'll say hello, save it, refresh. There you go. Now, this is probably going to bear a striking resemblance to this thing. You can see I've got all sorts of grids and whatnot here, and it looks as if I've got a font as well here. Alright, and then we've got a body background colour. Well, some of this I'm quite happy to keep. What's menu dark doing? Alright, well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's just go like this. I'll say menu dark. Whoops. Alright. Okay, so it looks as if menu dark is doing nothing at all. Alright. Sometimes, you know, you're as well just starting again if something's not working out, and I feel like that's what I want to do with this thing, you know. Now, this is what I'm trying to do here is search all of the folders. Normally on Sublime I right click and do search, but that doesn't seem to be an option here. Control Shift F, but that'll be probably within this file. Okay, well, let's bring back this thing. Now, how do I search? Like, okay, I'm going to search for dot menu dark. Okay, there's basically not too much happening there. Okay, tell you what we'll do. Let's just, for the moment, bring in this stuff here. All right. Okay. So, let me view. Oh, geez, I never meant to hit that. Doesn't matter. Right, let's view our page source. So, Italian restaurant Glasgow. Well, I suppose I could reference that. It's quite a small thing anyway. Okay, well, I'll come to that later on. But for the moment, I think the first thing I want to do is let me just say that menu dark is going to have a color of all the E's. Did that work? All right. So let me have a think here. Okay, I'll bring these two things back. I may not even need them though. But let's bring these into the picture. All right. Okay. All right, maybe I should do that just for the moment. Okay, let's just get this thing happening. I don't really need to get the details of the design perfect right here. But I'll center that, and then down here, if I say JSON data, you'll see that we've got a thing called menu categories. So I'm going to say in PHP, right, we're going to say for each. Now let's see how the prediction does here, right? Menu categories as menu category. Well, that's not too bad. Not too bad. Alright, now let me just take this out. Grab a new line. I'm going to just say hello. It should say hello about 13 times. Right, that's cool. So okay. All right. Right, I want to do a search inside modules for background image. Okay, let's see what we got here. Okay, so menu basic 4. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to copy this. Here's our menu display thing. Now, let's just say as menu title is assigned to that. And in here, we'd have a little bit of PHP. Okay, so far alright, let's just say, change that to say row value. Alright, we're having a wee challenge here. I'm going to say JSON row value a little true thing. Ah, well, of course it's menu title because it's the key. Right, that's cool. So far, I don't feel as if I've had some substantial help from this so far. But it's early days, you know. It's definitely early days. So let's have a wee look at menu name container. I'm going to copy this. Head up here, chuck this down here. Right, that's pretty cool. Okay, so okay, we're talking about this menu display thing here, right? Okay. Alright, so I'll take this menu grid thing. Oh, no, hold on. Alright, that's pretty cool. Okay, so down here, I'm going to do something like that. Maybe with a wee letter X in it. Now I'll show you why in just a minute. Okay, so we've got a thing by the name of menu grid, right? So I'm going to say menu. Okay, menu grid display. Well, that was a nice autocomplete. Let's say grid template columns. I'm going to say repeat. And the autocomplete's not too bad. 3 times at 1 FR. That's pretty good. Let's say grid. Grid gap is 1M. Then I'm going to say menu grid, direct descendant div. Okay. So the reason why I did that is because I want to lay out this grid, and the yellow is helping me to see the squares, you know. In fact, I can go even a wee step further by going like this. Nth child odd, and maybe I'll make this one have some crazy background colour like that. Alright, so you see these ones that say menu name container? I want those ones to stretch across 3 columns, you know? So let's see. Now I don't remember the syntax for this, so let's just see if we can get some autocomplete here, right? Let's say grid column 1,3 for 4. I'm taking a guess. Right, that was not it. Would it be grid column start 0? Would it be grid column end something like 3 or 2? Well, that seems to have worked. Suppose we say grid column start 0. No, let's try 1. So that'd be 1, 2, 3. Ah, so 4. Alright, so that means our headlines are now going across the page here. There is another way to do this, you know, but I haven't got time to faff about, so let's just now make this thing happen here. Okay, that's looking pretty good. Now let me just zoom down. Everything's looking great here. Zooming back out, and right, okay, we've got a width of 1881. I feel as if that's a wee bit on the big side, you know. So alright, so let's just say that the menu grid is going to have a maximum width. I'll try 1400, which is still pretty wide, you know. Maybe a default width of 96%. That'll catch the mobiles. Maybe we'll say margin 0 auto. Nice autocomplete there, that was good. Okay, now that's still a wee bit on the narrow side. Let's go up to 1600. That's too wide. Try 15. Okay, that's starting to feel quite good. Alright. So, what now? Well, let's get rid of that yellow line. It has... actually, I'll keep it for just a wee minute more. But at this section here, I'm going to just say JSON row value. Another nice autocomplete there, that was good. Alright, so you can see that row value is an array, and it's an array of objects. So let's just say in PHP for each. Now let's just, oh, look at that. Very nice autocomplete there, right? That was good. Now again, I'll just say JSON. Right, I don't like the way that row value repeats here, because I'd already mentioned row value, so I'll just call it you know what, let's just call it item object, and we'll do a little JSON on item object. Alright, so nothing much has changed actually. Let me copy this so I have a wee reminder of what we've got available. Alright. So, with each item, think about the actual menu. I mean the real one. It looks like this. So we're going to have a row, and then, well, let's just do it right now. So I'll just echo a div with a class. In fact, yeah, we'll call it no, do you know what, I'm not going to have a class. Let's just have a div with a closing one, and then, in fact, do you know what, let's get out of PHP. Why not? Why not? Alright, so we're going to have a div. The div is going to contain two divs, and it's going to go like that. So here we're going to have, let's just say, I'll call it class equals menu item title. So some title. Now underneath it, oh, that's an irritation. Need to do this. Right, okay. So underneath it, menu item description. Look at that beautiful autocomplete. Now that's kind of cool, right? And then over here, we're going to have one. Look at that. Can you believe that? It's auto-completed menu item price. That is fantastic. Wow. Alright. I have no idea if I'm even on. Am I on? Can anybody hear me? It seems to have signed me out or something there. Well, if anybody out there can hear me, I'd be really glad if you could let me know. Alright. Well, not to worry. I'll just keep on going. So, back to the thing. So we've got these nice things appearing here, you know, and this let's just give this a wee class here of class equals going to call it menu items. Okay, cool. Or menu item row. Alright. Now, if I refresh this, it's not looking too great. It is not looking too great. So, before we go any further with that, right, we've got our menu name container. Okay, I'll take out this. There you go. Haha, that's perfect. Now let's do a wee bit more space on this menu grid here. Alright, so I'll try 2M. Let me try 3M. I think 2 was good. Okay, so now we're going to get into the business of the item rows. So I'm going to say item row, and we're going to do exactly what it's suggesting, and that is an astonishingly it's menu item row, but nevertheless that was an amazing autocomplete, and that was my mistake, not the autocompletes. That is pretty amazing. The only thing is I would want that to say space between. So that's going to send the price to the right hand side, okay? Now, the next thing is we've got menu item title. Let's just say color is pink, just so I can see the thing, you know. And there it is. Alright, so we'll say that the font size is how about 1.2M. That's pretty cool. And I'll say that the margin downstairs is maybe 4 pixels. Yep. Let's say that the font weight is bold. And that's pretty cool. So after the menu item title, we've got the menu item description. Now let's just tab that in, and I tell you what, apart from the margin bottom, I think that was a pretty good effort. I'm quite impressed with that. Now I'm going to go to the price. Now if we take the actual menu, the price is in bold. In fact, it's probably the same as the menu item title. So I'm going to say dot menu item price. Keep an eye on the price on the right hand side, and there it is, it's in bold. Oh, that is fantastic. Okay, very nice. Alright, so now instead of saying menu title, I'm going to say, oh hang on, yeah, instead of saying some title, I'm going to just say, let's do a little item object loading up item title, and here it's going to be Now let's see if the autocomplete helps us. Item object loading up. It's going to be item description. I'm surprised it never got that. Okay. But so far so good. I mean, it's certainly not slowing me down. I feel as if once or twice it's been reasonably useful. It's done an okay job. It hasn't really slowed me down, which is pretty good, you know. I'll make this margin a wee bit bigger. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad. Now let's get rid of those yellow lines here. Which gives us this. Okay. So let's look at the actual menu. Okay, there's a much bigger space here between the description and the price. So I think the best way to do that is probably to say menu item row div of nth child 2. Now let me just add a wee background colour in so I can see this thing. Okay, so we're talking about the price, and I think I'm going to say padding left 20 pixels. No, 40 pixels. Something crazy like 90. Okay. Alright, 90 is a bit much. Let's try 60. That's pretty good. Now let's also make that menu description just a wee bit smaller. Instead of 1M, I'll make it 0.9. Ah, now that's starting to look a wee bit like a menu, you know? Okay, definitely starting to get there. Now I can see we've got big giant gaps between all of these different grids and whatnot. So I think maybe going up to 3M is not a bad idea here. Oops, wrong thing. Okay, so what I need to do is change the grid. I think it's grid column gap. Aye. Let's say grid column gap. We'll do something crazy. 6M. Ah, now that worked. That worked. So we'll say that the grid column gap is 6M, and let's say that the grid row gap, well, maybe that's only going to be like 2M. Oh yeah, that's what we're talking about. That's what we're talking about. Isn't it funny how when you just get the spacing right, man, it makes all the difference. I think that's fantastic. Although the spacing between the headline for the category and the items has to be fixed, you know. So let's have a wee look at this menu name container thing, and we'll see if we can do anything with that. So we'll start that with a border of anything, just so I can see it. And let's add a wee border here. Okay. So, so I'm trying to see if I can somehow get that a wee bit closer. Okay, so it looked like if I go to the bit with the title here, the menu name container, and then say grid, row, gap, 0. Come on, you friggin' idiot. Let's add in an important here. Damn. Okay, we're gonna have to rethink some of this. Right, let's go back to 2M. Or maybe even 1. Oh, hang on. No, we like the 6. We'll make this 1M. Okay, I think alright, back to the, let's go with this menu name container. And I'll say nth child. Now let me just try a wee experiment. Okay. Now let me just check something. Right. Let's say menu grid direct descendant div of nth child 1. Let's give it a background color of orange. Okay, let's give it a margin top of 0. That worked. I think that's the way to go. Alright. So let's have a wee refresh. All right. Okay. The top part could do with a wee bit of work, but I think the rest is all right, you know. I think the rest might just be all right. Although you have to wonder, why is that cutting off? And why is that cutting off? All right, we have a few people in the house today. GitHub Copilot will detect comment. Oh, thank you very much for that. Yep. It's yeah, hello there, Stefan, nice to see you. And Gavin is here. Yep. And here comes Simon. Thank you, Simon. Thanks for your help. I think that thing about getting rid of the bracket thing that you gave me worked. And I apologise for being a pain in the neck with that. I was bothering Simon there, and he gave me a wee bit of a tour of it, and I do appreciate that. Now here's Gavin typed in some stuff. I have no idea what that is, but if it's to do with highlighting things, I'm as happy as can be, but I might just decline that one, you know, because as I was saying to Simon last night, this is well, it's pretty darn good, man. I'm enjoying it, but there's just so much going on. I feel a wee bit overwhelmed, you know. So far, the good news is I don't feel as if it's holding me back much, you know. That's kind of cool, right? Kind of cool. So, I suppose there's that. Now, aye, this needs a wee bit of work at the top here. But the main thing that's kind of on my mind is, why is this doing new lines here? That's very strange, you know? So I would like to figure that one out if I can. Alright. So if I go like, if I copy this and then just see, here we go. Right. I wonder why it's doing that. Oh, how I wonder. Right. Ah, so look at this. Grid column start 1, grid column end 4. No, that should not affect it. I wonder if it's this images strike through with the width thing. Is that what's causing the problem? Ah, okay. Alright. Well, let's chuck a little border of 1 pix yellow solid. I'm trying to get the autocomplete working here as best as I can. Right, now that I'm looking at this, I think that this background image should have actually gone on the menu name container here. That would make a wee bit more sense, maybe. And then here, I wonder if I could say could I do something like that? No. Alright, well, let's have a think here. It's funny how it's the simple things that trip you up in it. Just try to think how I could do that. Right, let me go back to this vibe here. Right. So supposing I said I don't know how to do it. I do not know how to do it, and it's the most simple thing ever. Whoa, I got all different windows going. Right. So display grid will not help. damn. CSS. I think, is it called? Oh, I can't remember. I think I've got an idea. Right. Let's take these two things out, right? Okay. Now let's, just for the moment, give this thing a border of 1 pix yellow solid. Okay. Now on this one here, I'm gonna say oh damn. So that second box, I need to figure out a way to get that going across to the end of this thing. So let me do a wee search. CSS grid. I do not believe it. Okay, well, CSS. wonder if that could be it. No. Jeez, that's so crummy. Ah, man. The only way I can think of that would definitely do what I'm wanting, I'm trying to get this, these are 2 cells. I'm trying to get the cell on the right to stretch all the way to the right. And hang on. CSS cell on right to stretch to somebody must have done this. How to make a div fill remaining horizontal space, that's it. Well, I've never seen Flex grow. What the heck is that? Could that be the one? That worked? Well, I've never seen that or used that in my life, but it worked. What a lucky guy. Right, okay. So this is starting to look a wee bit like a menu. I think I'm liking it. I think I'm definitely liking it. Right, so a few tweaks to this and I should be good. So the first one I'll do is I'll get rid of this. Yep, that's looking cool. Then we've got with these menu item rows, I think I'm going to do a wee bit of a margin. Now I'll do an insanely giant margin just to make sure it's working. And it is. Aye, that is starting to look good. Right, the background's looking a bit duff there, but we might get away with it. Alright. There's ways of fixing that background, you know, but are we gonna do that? Maybe not. Okay, I think that's kind of cool. Now, there's another wee technicality that I want to do on this page. Let's go into PHP. And I'm just going to say if count menu object loading up special prices is greater than 0. Alright, let's just do something a bit mad. Okay. Well, that's a surprise. Echo count item object loading up special prices. Oh, jeez, forgive me. Alright, nothing coming up. Oh no, there you go, it says 0. Alright, let me just try something. Num special equals count that if num special is greater than 0. Ah, it looks like we've got one. Do you like my technique? So well, that was a good guess. It's no bad, you know. I don't think it has radically made me faster yet or anything, no. Okay, so that's saying array. Let's just say something like this. No, that's not much use. Alright, let's just chuck in the item title. At least it shows where this thing is. Okay, cool. Right, so we're on the starters basically. Okay, so probably what we would want to do then is say alright, that's looking not too bad. So let's do a wee bit of PHP action here. And I'll say if count if all of that stuff is equivalent to 0, then, well, that was a pretty good autocomplete there, you have to say. Let's try an else. Damn. That was good. Oh, no, I don't like that. I couldn't figure out a way to reject its suggestions, you know? But anyway, what can you do? Okay, so if the number of special prices is equivalent to 0, then we do that. Otherwise, we do the special prices vibe. Now, how do the special prices work? Alright. Well, let's just say JSON item object. Oh, come on, don't mess with me, don't mess with me. Oh, you miserable swine. Right, tab. Alright, so we've got special price and special description. Alright. Okay, what I suppose I could do is include special prices.php. Okay. I tell you one thing, I mean, it has done a few good autocompletes, and I think it has the potential to be really great, but I don't feel as if it's at a level where developers should feel that their jobs are being threatened or something. I don't feel that that's the case at all. It's I mean, I don't really feel as if I'm getting massive amounts of time saved, but on the other hand, I'm not wasting time either. So it's I don't know, man. I don't know how I feel about this. Anyway, let's do a wee SP data, and I'm gonna just say dev, which maybe something like that. Okay, some info. Oh no. Okay, some price here and some info here. Okay. So let's just do a wee bit of styling on this SP data thing. For the moment, I'll just say background color. Again, I'll give it a crazy old colour just so I can see it. Okay, now let's say we gave it a minimum width of 120. What would that look like? Not too bad. Suppose we said text align right. Not too bad either. Suppose we said, well, I'll make this a different colour here. Okay. So let's go back into this special prices thing again. Okay. So I'm going to say PHP for each item object loading up special prices as special price. Alright, that's cool. Now suppose we said in here JSON special price. It's going to give us a special price and a special description. Okay, so it looks like they've got the special price at the top. So we'll just say something like that. Okay, now for this part here, this is SP data direct descendant div. I'll say background color green, but we'll say that it's the div of nth child 2, Why did I say green? Let's go blue. Alright, so instead of 2, we might say even. There you go. So for these ones, we'll say font weight is normal. Font size is point. Oh gee. Let's go with 0.8 m. And let's also say margin downstairs is going to be 24 pixels or something like that. 20 pixels. Okay. So over here, we get something like that. Alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, I think these have to come down a wee bit. So let's just say margin top, maybe 12 pixels. No. 24. Okay, that might just have to be that. I don't feel that this is perfect by a long shot, but hopefully it's acceptable, you know? Alright, we have a few people have passed by today. Treff is here. Alright, nice to see you. Atom 1 dark theme is the colour that makes me feel good. Nice. Well, let's try that. Atom 1 dark theme. How do I get that? So, presumably it's up here. Preferences. Color theme. Let's see if we can get it. No. Oh gee. Well, I wouldn't even know how to get it. Maybe I need to click this. Atom. Atom 1 dark theme. 2.7 million downloads. Wow. Let's try that then. Okay. Oh, jeez, oh. Yeah, I'm glad you like it, man. I'm glad you like it. What do we think of these solarized themes? Probably garbage, eh? I like the red one, that's a bit mad. Kind of thing that would drive you crazy though. People would say years later, as soon as he started looking at those red themes, man, that was when he changed. He went right off the rails. Right, as boring as it is, I think I like the Dark Visual Studio one. Yep. Anyway, it looks to me Abyss, well, fair enough. I think I looked at that a minute ago. It was really dark. It had all the purple and all that going on. I mean, if my name was Darth Vader, I'd probably choose Abyss, I have to tell you. Anyway. Sorry, let me just see. Gonna have a wee inspect here. Alright, let's see how we're doing on different devices. Probably not too great. Okay, so you can see okay, so here's what we're going to do then. We are going to add in a couple of media queries. That's what we're going to do. So okay. Alright, so I think we've got 3 on full width, so we'll just try 3, 2, 1, you know. Now, if you look at the alright, we'll take this menu grid here. So that's menu hyphen grid, right? So I'm going to say menu hyphen grid and then do that. But then on the smaller one, we will say menu hyphen grid, just one FR, like that. And in order for that to be cool, we'll also take this menu name container thing. Maybe go like that. And maybe go like this. Let's have a wee refresh. Okay, so you can see that we're now on a 1 column setup here. And it's actually not too bad at all. Right, let's just go through the sizes gradually here. So it basically jumps right out to 3, but I think that's too soon. I think that this should be a width of 2. So let's just slowly do this. So that's 886. I'm looking at the top right here. Now at about this point, 1100, 3 becomes okay. So I'm happy for 3 columns at 1100, but from 720 to 1100. So let's say here 720, and let's say here 1100. Alright. So the vibe is just going to be repeat, and the suggestion is good. Okay, here we go then. Refreshing. That's pretty cool. That's good. Alright, so let's now do the device simulator thing. So this would be a Pixel 2. Now I'm glad I looked that up, because this headline is too big here. So let's go to the headline part. So this part here. I'm going to go like that. But on the much smaller sizes. Let's bring it down. That's kind of cool. Now what is this one here? Menu item title. Let's get that one. Tell you what, I'll copy that, take that out, head downstairs. That's pretty cool. Well, I think that is very cool actually. Do you know what's bizarre about this job? The guy has got an IT system for in the restaurant, and he's got somebody handling emails and somebody handling, I think, social media and all bits and pieces. And this is basically, I mean, this is 80% or something of a complete ordering system, and it just seems like a shame that I'm building this but not going the whole hog, because I would love to add a shop onto it, you know, but no, apparently no, that's to get handled by a third-party library, which is just the way it goes, you know. But anyway, what can you do? I'm feeling quite good about this. I think we're looking good on an iPad here. Yep. It's not exactly like his menu. This top section is duff as well. But we're kind of starting to get there. Alright. Well, I think that'll do for my wee test drive of this thing. I quite like it. I think that I'd like to see it with JavaScript. I think that's when it would really start to be cool. And the rain glow themes are good. I like those. I do like those. But this one kind of works for me as well. This is quite good, you know. Anyway, I'm going to have an early one with this, but I will be back later on, probably very soon. It's just that I've only had 2 hours sleep, and I'm kind of struggling a wee bit. So I'm going to go and get a wee bit of sleep. When I come back, I'm going to continue with this for a few hours. I think I can really make a dent with this. I think if I can get this top section nailed, it's going to look fantastic. And then once that's done, I'll just get the other menus nailed, hopefully quite quickly. And then, well, that'll be the menus done. So then tomorrow, I'll just do a few design elements, wrap it up, and hopefully this thing will be done and dusted by close of business on Friday. Not Friday, mate. I'm hoping for Wednesday. But I'll say Friday. Aye, so that was good. Thank you so much for passing by, and I apologise if this is all a wee bit short, but like I say, man, I've been up a long time and I don't sleep much, you know. Every once in a wee while, it catches up on me. So that was pretty good. I'll be back shortly. Thanks again for all your help with that, Simon, earlier on. It's always appreciated. All the best to all of you folks. Thanks for passing by. I'll see you later, okay? Take it easy now. Cheers.